In this video, we're going to cover the #1 cause of legal issues with beneficiary designation forms and provide some tips to avoid those problems. Now then, as well as addressing other potential problems in estate planning. The #1 reason that people have legal problems with their beneficiary forms is not keeping your forms up to date. All right, it's as simple as that. Now then, here's what you should do to avoid that. #1,
fill it out if you get married.
Fill out a new one if you get married. #2, fill out a new one if you get divorced. #3, fill out a new one if you have a
child.
Okay. And #4, fill out a new one if you lose a child. Sorry.
Now that sounds kind of odd. Why would you say that?
Right. Okay. So you would do that. It depends on how you have your form filled out, because you can have a form filled out so that your beneficiary portion, or the portion to that beneficiary, would go to their heirs if they predecease you. So if one of your beneficiaries predeceases you, it goes to their heirs. So if you rewrote your beneficiary designation form to take that person out, their heirs wouldn't get it. I'm not saying you have to, but look at it. When there's changes in your life, you may need a new beneficiary designation form, all right? When you're filling out a beneficiary designation form, are you editing the old one or completely rewriting it?
New one.
It is a brand new one. The old one is completely null and void. The new one is what takes precedence, okay? Now then, that is the #1 reason for legal challenges. Now here are some more tips that you should know about beneficiary designation forms. Okay, so some of these we're gonna get, because are we married? Yeah, we're married. Okay, so if you're married, regardless of where the spouse is, you're supposed to name your spouse as your primary beneficiary.
Even if the spouse lives in a different country?
Even if the spouse lives in a different country, exactly. And even if you can't find the spouse, okay?
Call the police?
That might be a good place to start.
Okay.
But yes, now then, seriously, if you can't find the spouse, that's a different video. Okay, because I don't know what the answer is, but they have to sign even if you can't find it. If you if you specifically do not want your spouse to be your primary beneficiary, there's some gifting reasons for this, and there's a lot of very specific reasons why somebody would do that.
You are going to go to your college or something. Right?
Exactly right, to go to your college, like I said, for a specific gift. Okay, you need to have your spouse, if you can find them, sign off on that form. I shouldn't say if you can find them, but when you find them.
But it's not an excuse to say I couldn't find them.
It's not an excuse. Okay. Now then, most people do name their children as secondary beneficiaries. That's a very common thing. Depending on how the form is written, you either name each child, or sometimes they let you do all children. Okay. Now then, the employee filling out the form.
It's very lovely from a get it done right part to have the actual children's names so that you actually have something to work off.
Oh, and they're real
because
names.
just some
they're real
children.
Names, not the nicknames, and not what they're called at school. Okay, they're names. Okay, because you have to find them. All right. Now then, what should employees be doing with the beneficiary designation forms, Catherine?
They need to fill them out.
Correctly. And what information are we looking for?
You're looking for date of birth, social security number, address, current, and the relationship to the employee.
Correct. Okay. So the employee is putting that information down for each beneficiary. All right. Now then, other than the rule for the spouse being the primary beneficiary, can you have basically anybody else? Yes, you definitely can. Now then, please keep your originals, all right? The employer needs to keep them in the personnel file, but there's nothing that's a good idea for the employees to have their own copy. All right.
I have a question.
Yes, my dear.
What if they do online beneficiary forms? Any words of advice for that?
Turn it into a PDF and save it locally. Go to your library and print out a copy. There's a variety of free ways of doing this stuff. So, yeah.
I love the part that you say keep a copy, though.
Keep a permanent copy.
Because we do not want dueling documents, right? The paper ones here and the online electric ones done another month.
Well, the last one signed is going to be the one that takes precedence. Make everybody's life simple, okay, please. Fill out a new form when something happens in your life. Oh, also, word of advice here, okay? If you want to live forever, fill out a beneficiary designation form. Okay, now that sounds a little crazy. The reason why I'm saying that is it seems like whenever we get a death claim, it is the one and only person at the company who's not returned a form. Absolutely everybody else who's living has returned a beneficiary designation form. The person who's dead is the only one who didn't. So ergo, fill out a form, you live forever, right? So this has been the 401 couple, and if you like this video, please watch some of our other 401k videos here. Tell us if you agree with our number one reason in the comments below, and we would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Keep those cards and letters coming.
Toodaloo.